You belong at that point in time.
And you belonged out of films?
I knew they weren't going to be making my kind of films anymore.
Do you ever watch your old films on television?
I have seen a few of them, and it's a little like watching my younger sister.
Do you like them?
I like her a lot.
When the story of your life is made, what do you want people to know about you?
I gave it a lot of thought because I was a legitimate swimming champion before I ever walked on a movie set. When you stand on a block and they say, swimmer, take your mark, you're all alone. Nobody did it for you. Your coach can't even do it for you. You have to do it. And I was already a winner when I met L.B. Mayer and all of those fellas that are so intimidating. And I never intimidated me because they couldn't do it. They couldn't get up on a block when they say, swimmer, take your mark, and get to the end of the pool first.
And you could.
And I could.
So no matter what happened with your life, the ups, the downs, whatever, you know you're a champion.
And that's something to tell young people. Be a champion.
These are America's 6 best-selling daily nutritional supplements, but Advanced Formula Centrum is more complete than the others. With 6 more vitamins and minerals than Myadec, 7 more than Theragran M, 12 more than 1 a day plus iron, 13 more than 1 a day essential, 15 more than Geritol tablets. Advanced Formula Centrum, the official multivitamin of the 1984 Winter Olympics. Advanced Formula Centrum, more complete than these leading brands, from A to Zinc.
Get happy. Get happy.
Now my cats get happy. Happy Cat from Purina. A moist and meaty tasting cat food that stays moist and meaty tasting all day. So cats stay happy all through the day.
Get happy.
Happy Cat cat food. Its delicious meaty taste makes cats happy all day.
Wednesday, right before the opening ceremony for the Olympics, a special 2020. We'll look at how powerful athletes develop grace and graceful athletes develop power. Plus, the making and marketing of a tennis superstar. And Barbara Walters talks with Dr. J. A special pre-Olympic 2020 Wednesday.
This is Howard Cosell speaking of sports.
Howard Cosell has been speaking of sports for 30 years and has become the best-known sports commentator in history, and certainly the most opinionated.
Arrogant, pompous, obnoxious, vain, cruel, persecuting, distasteful, verbose, a show-off. There's no question that I'm all of those things.
The adjectives he jokingly uses to describe himself have all been used seriously by others to describe him. He's been called the voice you love to hate, the Tower of Babel, and the mouth that roared. Howard Cosell is a man about whom almost everybody has an opinion, but there's no argument, as one headline proclaimed, that Howard always tells it like it is. He's a pioneer, the first sports journalist ever to take a microphone behind the scenes. He's an advocate, fighting for what he believes.
As you have just seen, the heavyweight champion of the world has rejected induction into the military service.
Probably his most famous stand came when Muhammad Ali refused to be inducted into the Army and was stripped of his heavyweight title. Howard Cosell stood alone, defending Ali, while other sports writers attacked him.
There had been no arraignment, no grand jury presentment, no indictment, no trial, no conviction, no appeal to the next court, no appeal to the court of last resort, which the Supreme Court would certainly hear.
Cosell defended Ali on judicial grounds, and he knew what he was talking about. Howard Cosell had been a practicing lawyer, and a good one. until at the age of 37, against his parents' better judgment, he gave up law to become a sportscaster.
Frazier is ready to go again.
It was boxing that made Howard Cosell as big a spectator of sport as any game he covered.
The fight is stopped.
But then in 1982, Cosell became disgusted with boxing, its procedures, its dangers, and its exploitation of the boxers themselves. And he decided he would never call another match.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Howard Cosell, and welcome to ABC's Monday Night.
Howard Cosell has been a mainstay of Monday Night Football since football went to prime time. For the past 2 years, the pride of his career, his Saturday afternoon show called Sports Beat, has earned him 2 Emmys. But Howard maintains he hates sports, is tired of covering sports. What is Howard Cosell like off camera? He says the stability of his life is his wife of 40 years, Emmy. What's the biggest misconception about Howard?
That he's a soft touch, and he doesn't show it. The exterior does not make you believe that inside there is really a soft touch. A hard luck story. A guy down on his luck. There's old Howard. He is a soft touch. And he doesn't give that feeling, I don't think.
What did you fall in love with?
I guess, in a sense, all the wrong things, although it certainly worked out. I think I liked the fact that he was so brash, so sure of himself.
When Howard comes home, is he the Howard Cosell we see in the air? Does he come home and lecture you and tell you how things should be and what he did or what he didn't do? You know?
No, he's not on the way he is on television and occasionally in social crowds. But there are times when I get long lectures and a bit of carrying on, and I just say, please, knock it off.
Knock it off.
And he does.
What has kept Howard Cosell at the center of controversy all these years? He says it's the fear and envy of other sports journalists. Howard, here we go. When I told people I was going to do this interview, the reaction was stronger than any reaction I've had to any interview I've done. What is there about you that makes people have such a strong reaction?
I believe that my adversary relationship with the print medium has been the cornerstone of reactions aroused for or against me in this country.
But I know people who don't read the sports writers and feel very strongly about you. He's arrogant, they say. He's always right. He brags all the time.
I have read or heard that.
You don't think that any of these things that I'm saying are accurate? You don't think that you come across sometimes as if you know everything and you say it in such a way that there's absolutely no doubt?
I'm no different in that regard from any other advocate. If I do commentary, I'm not a wandering minstrel of words. I take a position.
So you think it's all the print media writing about you?
Not all. There are also
mostly
people in my own profession.
But Howard, look, what about humility? What about once in a while saying, I don't know it all?
Oh, that's just a television question, Barbara.
No,
I am
Howard,
filled with humility.
It doesn't
Good
show.
Lord. Well, if it doesn't show on camera in a given case, in a given show, it showed when Jackie Roosevelt Robinson died. It showed when Vince Lombardi died.
Emotion
I've
show.
bared my heart to this public on every issue that's counted in my life in sports and about the people who have counted in my life in sports.
That's true.
So don't throw a general television question
Howard,
to provoke
Howard,
an apparent controversy. It's beneath
Howard,
you.
it is not beneath me. I want to know why people don't like you, Howard.
Oh, come on. That's an absurd question.
All
You
right.
better talk to my wife. We've traveled this country, and I have no complaints with the way the general public has treated me. They've treated me very, very kindly and well.
Then let me ask it another way. When you do read these things, when you do hear these things, does it hurt?
Anybody who says that he is not offended by distortion, falsity, and vendetta, almost amounting to a pogrom, he's not offended by it, is purely and simply not telling the truth. Does it hurt me now the way it once did? No way. No way. You get inured to anything, and now, if you want to know where I do take a delight, I take a delight in refutation. I take a delight in truth. And I look at my life and I look at every key issue in sport in my lifetime. And I've been right and they have failed. That's not ego. That's not arrogance. I was right in the case of the United States against Muhammad Ali. I was dead right. I was right in the case of Kurt Flood against baseball's reserve clause when they all wrote that I hated baseball and baseball would die, their treasured game, without the reserve clause. There is no reserve clause now as such, and baseball's more prosperous than ever. I am right about big-time college sports traducing higher education. When Billy Don Jackson, after 2 years at UCLA, can only read C. Scott run, we're doing something wrong. I'm right, and I'm right on key issue after key issue, and that's what matters.
How do you think that the public, the fans, feel about you?
I think it's mixed. I think preponderantly the fans respect me. At the very least respect me. In many cases, adulate me.
I smile because when you say they adulate you, can't you see that that can make some people say, oh, Howard, I mean, you could say, listen, they like me, or I hope that they, but you know what I mean, Howard, when you
I know
talk
what you
like
mean,
that?
but again, you're pandering to what's been written,
No, I'm
and
saying
that
don't.
is
I want to
beneath
say to you, no, I want to say to you, Howard, don't say they adulate you. Make it another way, Howard, so you won't get their backs up.
Oh, I
mean,
wouldn't get
that's
their
such a
backs
big
up. If they've
number.
watched this whole show, they know my sincerity, my dedication to my work, and my feeling for people.
But do you think they adulate you?
Well, you go into an arena, as my wife and I have, and they just, you know, can't be more kind to you, want to touch you, want your autograph, just all over you. Hey, Howie, baby. And others who have performed in the arena don't even get paid attention to. Yes, it's a fair use of a word and not intended in any sense egotistically.
In private life, the world of Howard Cosell revolves around Emmy. And now you flirt with me, and you come up and say cute things, but you are
the only woman I've ever known whose sexual dynamism increases with her advancing years.
I will try very hard to take that as a compliment. But the beginning, the middle, and the end of your private life is your wife. Tell us about Emmy. What does she do for you? What does she give to you?
My wife is a balance wheel. She gives me equilibrium. I'm a man of emotion with major peaks and valleys during the course of almost every day of my life. And she brings me back to reality. She knows what to take seriously and what not to take seriously.
At the end of the day, if you come home and you say, look at this and what about that, she says, oh, for heaven's sakes, Howard, who cares?
No, she puts up a sign that says, count your blessings.
Tell me about your father and your mother.
My dad was a very, very hard-working man who dedicated himself to his children, frankly, more than he did to his wife. He was not a man of vision or of major talent, never made a lot of money. My mother was a very attractive woman who was totally dedicated to her children, worked very hard in the house, and who always wished that she had been married to a man who had a lot of money.
Was it your father who wanted it to be my son, the lawyer, who wanted you to go to law school?
Sure, that was my dad. When he died, he told my mother, please have Howard go back to the profession, because by that time I had begun in broadcast.
What was the effect of the childhood of the parents on the Howard Cosell today?
I grew up in Brooklyn in the age of the Great Depression and in the age of Hitler. And there are great insecurities attendant upon that type of adolescence. And I suppose they've been with me always. And I suppose I'll always have great insecurities.
In what areas because of that time?
In the areas of ever having enough money, and in the areas, I suppose, of anti-Semitism, being Jewish.
Howard, you were in Munich at the Olympics where the PLO terrorists murdered the Israeli athletes. You were enormously affected by that, so much so that you couldn't even stay on the air. What did that mean to you, Munich?
Munich brought home to me the realization of who I am, where I'm at, what I'm all about. It brought home to me the realization that as long as I'm alive, I want the world to know that I'm Jewish. And it brought home to me the realization that as long as I'm alive, there'll always be somebody, somewhere, out to get the Jews.
But you knew you were Jewish. Lots of people know they're Jewish, but they don't necessarily go through life feeling, as you say you do, insecure.
I don't have an insecurity about my career. Not anymore. I haven't had that for many years. I have no insecurities as a journalist. None whatsoever.
Do you have a photographic memory?
I don't know if it's photographic, but I have near total recall, yeah.
And you can spout all kinds of statistics, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, but that's not a talent. That's a birthright.
Show me. Dazzle me with statistics.
What kind of statistics?
I don't know. I hear you have that kind of mind and you can just do it.
All right, Floyd Patterson won the heavyweight championship of the world in the Chicago Stadium, November 30th, 1956. He first fought Ingemar Johansson, June 26, 1959, in Yankee Stadium. June 20th, 1960, the old Polo Grounds, the fifth round left hook that demolished Johansson, the blood flowing from the burst capillary vessels, the right foot.
I believe you, I believe you. Howard, earlier this year, you decided that you wanted to quit ABC. Now, you know, realistically, you've got it all going for you, everything. Why did you want to quit?
Because one reaches a point of boredom, no more challenges, and fatigue with travel, boredom with the contests. I don't care who wins or loses a game, Barbara. I need challenge.
Okay, it wasn't made public that you wanted to quit. It was all hushed up. And you decided to stay until your contract is up in August.
That's correct.
You'd said once, if I quit, I die.
I suppose I did say that, Bobs. But times change, and anybody who adheres to a posture earlier enunciated when times change is a fool.
The president of ABC Sports and ABC News, Roone Arledge, is a man who was considered for many years your mentor and your closest friend. You said that Roone promised you that you could be an anchor, or that you could have a leading role in news. He says he didn't.
It was my understanding I had grown tired of sports. And when he took over news, I remember Roone saying to me, Howard, now we'll answer back. And I didn't get that opportunity.
Do you think that you would have been accepted, let's say, on World News Tonight, as Peter Jennings now is?
In the beginning, no. But I would have won.
Do you think that you would have made a good anchorman?
Yes.
Howard Cosell, how would you like to be remembered?
That's the simplest thing in the world.
Tell me.
Good husband, good father, doting grandfather. That's all that matters to me.
Don't you have even this much to say about your career?
No, that's for others to judge. I'll stand on that anytime. All the causes, all the stands, everything I've done what I believed in. And I did it my way.
Give to the world the best you have, and the best will come back to you.
This is the moment, time to be strong.
You're trying so hard, giving your all. It won't be long.
Believe in yourself. What matters is what's inside.
You got what it takes. Just say,
I'll make it, I'll find my way. This is the moment. Forget about the yesterdays. Ooh, you make it happen. This is the best of life. You can have it, the best of life. You can do it, and we'd like to help.
Visa.
Can you hear it? I can hear it. Can you taste it?
I can taste it.
It's the real grain taste of Chex. You can hear how hearty it is. Can you hear it?
We can hear it.
Can you taste it? We can taste it. It's the real grain taste of Chex.
Chex brand cereals take the taste of rice, corn, wheat, and bran and gives them real grain crunch.
Can you hear it?
Hey!
It's the real grain taste of Chex. You can hear how hearty it is.
Tonight, ABC's exclusive coverage of the 14th Winter Olympic Games begins. Relive the miracle of '80 with the hockey team that skated to destiny. Plus, meet the boys of '84, led by scoring sensation and skating wizard Pat LaFontaine, and last year's NCAA All-Star goalie Mark Barron. Then on Tuesday night, they take to the ice in their first Olympic appearance against number 3 seed Canada. The 14th Winter Olympic Games begin tonight at 11:30, 10:30 Central and Mountain on ABC.
The Barbara Walters Special, brought to you by the Ralston Purina Company, makers of Purina Pet Foods and all the other fine products from Checkerboard Square.
Winning the race. Attaboy. Attaboy Thomas. Attaboy Thomas. Hooray for Thomas. Yeah. Come on, honey. That's a boy. Oh, yeah, you like that part, don't you? Smiling. Oh, yeah. He's smiling, Mommy. Here we go. Alley-oop. There we go. Yeah. He swims between Mommy and Susie. Right, sweetheart? Go to Mom. Go to Mommy. Go to Mommy. Oh, big boy. Got a mouthful, huh? That's not so bad. Oh, got it in your mouth. There you go. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, your grandma. Come on, sweetheart. Come on. Come on, your grandma. Kick those feet. That's a boy. That's a boy, honey. Come on. And now around we go.
This is Barbara Walters. Thanks for joining us. I hope you'll join me again Wednesday night preceding the Olympics in a special edition of 2020 when I interview basketball's dunking doctor, Dr. J, Julius Irving.
Go, go, go. Kick those feet. That's a boy.